Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tally the Votes. We are at the end of week one of this season of Big Brother. We've just had our first eviction, and I'm Christy, and with me tonight is Jamie because David got lost. Uh,
David had other things to do. He wasn't
he's
going to
got,
put up with the wrath of Angela this week.
he was just mad.
He's just mad. He's just
He's just
mad.
mad. Wow, guys, this is going to be for those who might be new to how we do kind of things around here.
This is going to be a mess.
Well, no, should be fine. But typically, what we do is we talk about everything we see on CBS, but we also talk about things that are out there in the Twitter universe and what people are talking about.
Yes, ma'am.
Jamie trolls all of that for us and just brings back the whole, caboodle back for us.
The PTSD of the week.
The PTSD. And so we're going to be talking about that because I'm going to tell you, if you are new to Big Brother or just new to kind of like diving deeper into Big Brother, you would be surprised how different the Twitterverse versus CBS edit can be. Okay, with that said, you've been warned. How are you, Jamie?
A little road worn and weary. It's been a long day driving on the road. But listen, this week is chaos in the House. It's chaos in the political arena of the country. It's chaos in the weather. It was really
chaos in our houses because it's still summertime and kids aren't in school.
Teenagers.
It's the whole thing.
You know what? I hate to say that I wasn't up to my particular snuff this week in live feeds, but I really wasn't because it was crazy. I could not keep up.
Well,
it was like every 5 minutes there were more shenanigans. And in the middle of every single one of those was Angela.
She is quite the
well, I think
quite the pot stirrer, quite the manipulator, quite the she's something else. I will tell you right now, I know that there has been and David would say this probably, some I don't know, theories out there, conspiracy theories that how CBS kind of does some of their casting and who makes on the show and who doesn't. And
Angela's been on a few things, a few CBS centric things.
She has. And
I don't believe it.
I'm gonna say though, in this situation, I don't know. I have really mixed emotions about it because for me, I want like pure players, but CBS, your girl is off the chain, and
she is everything, isn't she?
She made good television for week one because usually week one is very blah.
Yeah. Okay. Now this is the thing. The whole time this is happening, okay, this is happening at like the ass crack of dawn. That's when this happened. I love how it's like they're all around the kitchen.
And she's still wearing her clothes from the night before. She looks all
and it's like it looks like this is something that happens in the middle of the afternoon, but it's not. It is something that happened first thing in the morning. Like I woke up, alarm, got up, flipped on the old social media of Big Brother to see what's happening, and it was happening.
It was already happening, yeah. And it had already begun. And the Pacific time, guys. That's 2 hours earlier than your house.
It was absolutely great, actually, because I usually will jump over to the live feed updates, and poor Taryn was having a hell of a struggle to get through it because it was happening on his screen, and he couldn't talk about what she was doing because he was trying to deliver the updates from overnight. That's how the whole week's been. It's just literally how it's been. I check in and I go, I don't even know what's going on with these people right now. Like it's just so much. It's been chaotic. No, but I have to ask you, when she came down those stairs and we saw the episode this week, right? First of all, hats out to the hilarity of everyone joining in on the slow clap.
They just like, are we dancing? Yeah, all right. That's funny because
why not?
Kind of mock her, but
when in doubt.
She didn't get mad though.
They like literally had no idea what's going on. They just started slow clapping along with, because that's what happens when someone starts a slow clap.
And also I have to feel like no matter what, 20 minutes in, they still did not know what was going on. They were
I
so
don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so.
Oof.
So, okay. Now, when she delivered her speech, I have to be honest.
Oh, and they edited
I
it. It was way longer than that.
It was so much longer.
Yeah.
So much longer.
Mm.
Um, I have to be honest. I know we talk a lot about, oh, it's really easy to say these things when you're standing outside watching things and you're not in the game. This is one of those moments that I can say with no doubt. I would have been standing in that kitchen and going, this is 100% rehearsed bullcrap. Like, I would have immediately gone, no, no, she's been practicing this.
Yeah. And in fact, we find out
She had
she
all
had
night
been.
in her bed all night.
I mean,
So
she was doing like the reverse of what people normally do. You know, normally like you're in a situation and then afterwards you're like, oh, I should have said
should have
this.
said
Oh,
this
no,
thing.
no. She was doing the reverse. She was all night like going, I'm going to say this.
I'm gonna say this and this.
Then I'm going to say that. And she just kept coming up with it. That's why some
For
of
a
those
low
things like
budget movie.
that comment was like super lame. I'm sorry. Just,
Yeah, that's what I
I mean,
mean.
I
That's
get
the
it.
tell. That's the tell.
It was invented at 3 a.m. and at 3 a.m. it sounded great. And at six in
For
the
a
morning, it still
low
sounded great.
budget movie.
For the because when she comes down the stairs immediately, she's angry at everybody.
Yeah, it was really
I
weird.
don't.
It was a weird
It's like she had
energy.
ends up because she went after
energy.
all of them, saying that all of them came up and lied to her.
Yeah, so here's my favorite of the whole thing. Like this, I know it's going to happen. I've talked about it with my husband. He knew that this had happened in the house before it was aired
Mm.
on TV. And it starts, the clap starts, and she comes walking down the stairs, and he pauses it, and he looks at me, and he goes, "This is gonna be super cringe, isn't it?" And I'm like, "100%, baby, buckle
Yeah,
up." Like, it's gonna be.
this is why we watch. This right here is why we watch Big Brother.
I know, and that's why I'm like, this is the thing, though. This is where
Mhm.
the love of the show actually exists because this is a train wreck. Nobody is acting like it's something that's actually not a train wreck, but we're all like crazy eyes, all over it. Like, so also on the crazy eye comment,
Yeah,
she overused it. Well,
she did.
she
I was
super
like,
overused it.
okay, so is that because like she was like, I'm gonna find something that I can say about him that I feel is true, but that no one can say is like you know, non-PC or something.
Well,
Is that what
well, okay. One, have to, there's definitely the parts of the internet that would argue that. But
true.
the reality is, remember when I sent, just an FYI, because when I'm watching the feed, sometimes I send Christy and David little thoughts and quips of what's happening on the live feeds. And did I or did I not send you a picture of Cedric saying, "Oh, see, he really does look like Carl Gallagher," right? Okay.
Yes.
During
Yes.
that conversation,
Mm.
during that specific conversation, Cedric was talking to Matt, and I took a picture of Matt because I thought to myself, dude's eyes be crazy.
Well, okay, but here's
And
the
this was
thing.
before the Angela thing. This was all before that.
He has
There
he has
is,
very like shocked eye. He always looks like he's a little bit surprised. Like like
yeah,
but the rest of his face doesn't match it. It's just the eyes. Like he's
yeah,
really like
yep.
and
So it's
I
kind of a
mean,
thing.
maybe that's just how he is all the
He
time.
has some wild expressions. That's it,
Yeah.
just some wild expressions.
Mhm.
Um, but I really did have this picture on my camera roll that I just never sent, that I was all like, dude's eyes are kind of crazy though, right? Like,
Oh no, you sent one
so
picture, didn't you?
I
I'm
don't know
fairly
if I
certain you sent a
sent it or
picture.
not. I'm not
I'm
sure.
pretty sure you did because I had to show my daughter and she was like, okay, yeah, he does.
Yeah, a little
It's
bit,
a thing.
a little bit. And
Yeah.
I also need you to deliver the message to your daughter that somebody posted a picture tonight of Derek X on Twitter, and I was all like, yeah,
She just
Matt ain't
forgets.
it.
She's just forgotten. You
Matt ain't
know,
it."
she's
she's got
18
she's got to
and
go back,
she for
see him with his cool haircut, you know,
he's such a cutie pie.
just a cutie patootie. So Angela is just scurrying all over the house, all week. That's what I got for you. She's just starting rumbles here, starting arguments here.
Okay.
She will literally, there's a conversation that she sat and had with Matt, and Matt is talking about his mom watching this, and he's crying and crying and crying.
Mhm.
Also, Matt cries a lot, guys. He cried
A
a lot all
lot.
week.
There was
A
a
lot,
lot
a
of
lot.
crying this.
And he talks kind of like, they gave him a very nice, sweet boy edit. I don't think he's a bad guy, but he was really kind of losing his cool too, a little bit
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so he'd be like in the having this conversation with her crying, and then she would like apologize, and then she was crying. And the second he walks out of the room, man, that face just right straight back to normal, no tears, just like she just kind of smirks at the camera, like she is playing every single
So
conversation.
is she like an actress? Is she like professional? Is she like a plant this season?
I don't know. I'm just like, okay, either she's
Is
a
that going to be their
plant,
big twist?
but she's like a plant on Dr. Phil too, then. Because this is
Oh yeah, yeah,
kind
yeah.
of the thing, right? Like, this is
Yeah.
kind
She's
of
been
the
on Dr.
carryover.
Phil. She's been on Dr. Phil where
And
it was
Price is Right.
not complimentary to her.
Yeah, it wasn't. Nope, it wasn't.
It was about the fact that she was enabling her daughter to not have a relationship with her
Yeah,
father.
father.
So like she would warn her daughter when the husband would get home and be like, he's here. And then so the daughter could run up and lock herself in her room. And then
So weird. All in one house.
like
That's
and
the
all
weirdest
living in one
part.
house. And she's married to the man. And I don't, you know what, there could be some extenuating circumstances, but it makes me want to go like, are you guys okay over there? Like,
Everyone all
if
right?
it's really that bad that you have to hide from him, you can
Yeah.
just leave him, A.
Yeah.
And if it's not that bad and you're just either way, come on.
Yeah, is this like a Maury
You're not
situation?
handling it.
Like, is it like kind of a setup? Like, is this not a
Yeah.
real thing? It's really hard to
Well,
see when
are
we
you
have
saying Dr. Phil's not real?
Oh my god, no. Well, I wouldn't, not me.
He's not even a real doctor, so why
What?
would it?
What?
Anyway,
What are you talking about? So yeah, she's kind of Kathy Bates in this thing, right? Like she's just kind
yeah.
of swinging the
Yes. Oh
sledgehammer
my gosh, she
around.
does have a little bit of that, doesn't she? A little misery.
There's listen, either she is just acting 100%, they're like, go in, we need you to just literally, you're just here for chaos.
Yeah. Chaos
Or
agent.
or she needs to have a couple check-ins with psych a little bit, I think.
Well, I wondered about that too, because the way that she was practicing her speech kind of seemed like she was working herself into a paranoia spiral.
And
Do you know what I mean?
she is. Like, look at what
Mhm.
happened with Quinn, right? And
Yeah, she thinks
Joseph.
they're lying to her. She thought everybody's lying to her.
And they literally were like, let's work with her. All the people that are saying, let's work with Angela, is the people she's turning around going,
I can't trust
again,
them.
for a
Yeah.
low budget movie.
Yeah. And when she was mad at Matt and it's telling, he was threatening her, which he was being aggressive game talk, but that's not a personal threat. I
kind of feel like he was like talking at a wall. You know what I mean? Like, and then I was like, well, da 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 da, that kind of thing where it really wasn't directed at her per se.
Yeah, like if you put me
what?
up, that's just gonna put the drive in me the next week, blah blah
Right.
blah, and then I'll probably put you up.
But
Now
kudos
that's
to him too, though, when
Yeah.
he can look back at it, and he's defended himself throughout the week. But at least he's like sitting there with Julie and saying, it's something I can grow from. Like, you've practiced. Good job. Good job. This is how you leave the house. There you go.
And this is, and this is how people reach personal growth too.
Yes, exactly.
Good job.
Yes. What do you think about?
But what she first says to him is she is on this one loop where it's like, do you not even know this game? She's thinking he's going to win the power of veto, take himself off the block and put her up. And it's like, everyone's going like, that can't happen. You're HOH. So and if he pulls himself off the block, you name the replacement, not him. And you can't go up. So that was where the paranoia, you could see it going like, wow,
I think
she needs to sleep.
Tradition, especially in the new era of Big Brother, that the first HOH kind of gets like HOH-itis and gets real Looney Tunes during the week.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to be that whole like, the person who has to break the barrier into like the pressure of the game. This was a different spin. This is,
Yeah.
because I mean, like, before Angela, I would say, like, Frenchie kind of held the badge on that, like, the best HOH itis week ever, but
Yeah, he really yeah.
but she's managed to, take the throne.
She's quite a character. And here's the thing. So last week I was like, I don't know, she seems like she's going to be really like uh we thought she would be like making people crazy because she would talk too much or she'd be too excited and people would just like chill a little bit. Like just
Right.
chill a little bit.
It's
Um
true.
and she's been different than, I mean, it's been that, but it's been way more than that. And so at this point I'm like,
Yeah.
maybe I don't want her to go home. I thought she'd be the first one out, honestly. What, her or Chelsea? Chelsea?
Yeah.
I thought it
Yeah.
would be one of them.
Yeah.
But it's not. She
This
got
year.
HOH, so good on her. And then, yeah, so now I don't know. Do I want her to stay?
I
Just
don't know.
for
I kind of
just
do, like, but this
be
I
careful
want her
what you
to
wish
stay.
for? That's what
Yeah.
it feels like. Feels like
Yeah.
we'll be punished for thinking that.
Like, I want her to stay, but then I'm also feeling, like, kind of bad about wanting her to stay because I don't want her to stay for any real good reason. Like
I don't either. And you
I
know
just
what?
want the chaos, and then the chaos is gonna end up turning against her, and it's probably gonna be pretty brutal. So maybe that's
Yeah.
not okay.
And I don't want her chaos to blow back on anybody that we like. And
Yeah, and it
that's the
seems like
worry.
the weirdest thing is about all of this is that it seems like Angela's kind of got, 2 or 3 groups that she's sort of worked with a little bit.
Yeah. She won HOH, and then that day, two different groups that approached her. She was like, saying there to the camera, like, "Oh my god, this is the best!" Like, she was just sitting so pretty, and then something, and then Crazy Eyes went up there and hypnotized her or something, and then she went cuckoo, I guess. But no,
Yeah, I don't know. I
okay,
don't know how I feel about Angela. I mean, I know how I feel about Angela, but I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about Angela.
oh yeah,
That's a tough
yeah, I
one.
don't
It's a
know.
tough
She's an
one.
interesting character, and I usually don't like saying that about reality show players because they are human beings, and I like to say,
Right.
but she is really coming across as a character, and I'm not 100% sure
It's
that some of it's
genuine.
not
It feels a
not a
little, yeah,
play.
yeah, feels a
So
little.
that's okay. So if she's coming up with a character, then she's a genius. Good for her.
Yeah.
I hope it works for her or whatever.
What do you think about
But
Kenny? Like,
okay, so that was okay. So we got the Angela Matt beef, right? Okay. Then Matt somehow gets Kenny wrapped around his finger to the point that Kenny is literally like ready to like, I'll save Matt and I'll stay on the block. Like,
yeah, that was kind of a weird thing. Now, I would love to chart out the diagram of how all of these players moved their pieces this week, but I can't because it was like
it was
all over
it
the
was
place.
circles and
Yeah.
figure eights, and there was
Okay,
no.
do you remember like last season and you had like the Izzy and the Suri of the whole thing? But it's like
Mhm.
this year every player is Izzy and Suri. Like
Okay.
there's no calm base. It's like everyone's just a bee buzzing around the next
And
bee.
the crazy thing is, I did not expect that from Kenny, and B, it's all coming from some sort of loyalty he feels to Matt because Matt's dad was a police
Absent.
officer,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I think
But
to
you know
myself,
what?
but they don't even know that you're a police officer.
But look at him. Look at him. Let's just look at Matt for a minute. He's getting called out. Someone's yelling at him from the staircase, and then he's crying and crying and
Oh
crying
yeah,
and crying. And I have to tell you, this year it's really hitting me how young some of these players are, right? And
yeah.
so I'm like, oh,
They
if
weren't
I
even
were there
born
for
when the first season of Big Brother
yeah,
aired.
how would I be when I was there? It's like, ooh, because part of me thinks, oh, if I was in the house, I would just be laughing at the people crying. No, no, no. I'm a mom. I think I would be like, oh, don't cry.
I'm way too empathetic. I
Yeah.
would be
Be like,
sucked
they're
in.
there.
I just don't want
Please
people to
don't cry.
feel
Yeah.
poorly. But I was really surprised, like Angela, and when Angela spoke to him, she was right on. Like, really, you must not want this. I want this more than you. If you're willing to throw it away for somebody you met a week ago,
Right.
and she point blank said to him, he's not your son. And the
Hmm.
look on Kenny's face when she said that to him, so it's like, wow, he really did grab onto that kind of a relationship that he
For
felt comfortable with,
sure. And he
as
said
his
that's what
anchor.
it's funny because he said, like, that was gonna be his gameplay, right? But
Yep,
then look what happened when you actually attach feelings to that gameplay. Everything becomes a lot more difficult. And
yep.
I think the majority of the House, like, everyone who voted for Matt was pretty much solid that they were gonna vote Matt out, like, right from the
Well, they were
first
like, we'd be
conversation.
dumb.
Yeah,
We'd be dumb if we did. Yeah.
like Joseph said, "Let's
Joseph had the best one.
get him out of here."
This is the way you play that. This is how you
Yep,
have to do it. Like,
yep.
it's a
And
game.
I also
We're
it's
not going to do this. He said, we're not going to do this like years
all
before, right?
yep. But I
Keeping the
have to
meat
say,
shields
like,
around.
it is kinda satisfactory that, like, that production was just, like, pushing so much for Mackenzie and Matt to have a showmance, like, this was gonna be the showmance, and it was so great because you could tell that they were pushing it, and, like, even in their conversations, it was super weird because the edit is showing, like, "Oh, they're so flirty and they like each other," but, like, it's like they're being pushed to say those things because the conversations give off 0 like, real, like, vibe. Like, they're kinda like, "Eh." It's
Well,
super weird and
they're too
uncomfortable.
immature yet, it feels like, or too young to just be honest. Like, yeah, I
Yeah,
think you're cute, whatever. I mean, I don't know. I don't
right,
really know you, so, but you're cute. Yeah, why not? I mean,
right, yeah,
but let's
and
get
I
to know
think
each other. Just be
I
honest.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I'm not gonna say that I'm right, but it almost feels like maybe, like, Matt like, maybe the whole first of all, the whole Angela Matt thing put Mackenzie's game in kind of a yucky spot. But then also, like, I think Matt's crying a lot about things kind of made Mackenzie be like, "Oh, there, I'm gonna go over here." Like, yeah, it
But
was
it was
sort of
really weird how upset she got that Angela brought up her name.
yeah,
She was drawing more attention to it because she
mhm,
wouldn't stop talking about it
yeah,
with all how upset she was, and she's crying because Angela said her name. Why is she bringing him up? All you have to do is be like, everyone saw what Angela did.
yep,
Whether Angela's telling truths or not, the way she did it, it looks extremely chaotic. And
yep.
I'm sure she could just be like, I have no idea what she's talking
It's
about.
super weird, and so all of this is happening. There's crying, there's Mackenzie and the Matt of everything, and there's the Angela of
She's not
everything.
going to use her special power on him, even though he asks her.
Right, what in the world? And then there's the Kenny of everything, and while all of this is happening, then there's Lisa walking around and putting edible glitter on everyone's flipping food all the time. And they're literally I I don't know who let her bring that edible glitter in to the Big Brother house.
Okay, edible glitter, it just makes the food glittery. It has no taste. It adds nothing else, just a glitter. Okay, a shimmer, if you will. And B, she is a celebrity chef, not a chef who's a celebrity. She is a chef who cooks for celebrities.
For
So,
celebrities, yes.
and the rumor was, and I have nothing to corroborate this, but Paris Hilton is who she cooks for, is what
Yeah,
I've heard.
yes.
So Paris just likes glittery food. Is this her claim to fame? Like, I'll make
I
you a
don't
grilled
know.
cheese sandwich, but I'm gonna glitter on it.
Can I be real with
This
you
is
here? Like,
Here's
okay,
your bowl of ramen. I've sprinkled glitter on top.
okay,
I don't know.
that in my profession, right, that
Yeah,
glitter is an everyday thing. You're
yeah,
painting faces, you're painting
yeah.
bodies, you're throwing
Oh, it's
glitter
all
at it.
over.
It's a thing.
Yeah,
I love glitter as much as the next guy,
absolutely.
but
I don't need
stop
to go in our
putting it
mouth.
on everybody's food.
Why? Yeah,
Why?
some
Why?
food is not supposed to be sparkly.
Okay, this is really the
If it's
funniest.
a dessert, that's okay. I
My
feel like.
favorite thing about the week, honestly, when it comes to, like, personal people dynamic things happening in the house, is, like, the beef that's happening between Tucker and Lisa, and, like, Lisa doesn't even know how much Tucker actually hates her because she
Really, do tell now. This I do not know.
so,
Now I'm
they're
kind of liking Tucker. Okay.
right? And he said, like, "I'm a cook, I can cook food, that's gonna be my thing." And then here she is, like a celebrity
With her
chef
thing of glitter.
with her thing of glitter.
Would you like glitter cakes? What's
And
that?
she, like, put down his wings, like, he had made some wings, and she had made a comment about it, and then he was like, "Mm-mm, nah, no."
Oh, did it not?
He didn't like that. He didn't like that, right? And then she's always kind of
Well,
saying
that's
some
kind of
stuff.
rude of her to do that even.
Yeah,
If you don't
well,
like his food, don't eat it, but don't, poo-poo
okay,
what.
I think Lisa's one of those people that really mesh well with certain people, but then it's like oil and water with other people, right? Like she's
Mhm,
very her own person, for better or
mhm.
worse.
Lover
But
or hater kind of thing?
yes, but when it comes to Tucker, he's made up his mind. But here's the thing. Here's the thing that I'm loving about Tucker. His voice says, "I don't know what's going on,"
Mhm.
but he kind of does.
He does.
He does socially know what's going on.
Yeah.
Also, he has this incredible knack of being able to talk total smack on somebody without using anything derogatory
And
to get his
smiling
point.
about it while he does, right?
It's so good. It's so
Yeah.
good. I feel like I'm watching one of the Wahlbergs, like have it, talking smack on people, but he's not dropping any B bombs.
I mean, he
Being
looks
great.
like he looks like he could be an extra on Goodfellas because he looks almost like
Oh
vintage, like 60s,
yeah,
right? Okay. My daughter thinks that she sent me a picture of Willem Dafoe from Spider-Man. She's like, he looks like Willem Dafoe. And I'm like, I think he looks like James Franco. Like James Franco and Willem Dafoe don't look like
he has
father
a
and son.
little. I
But if
think
you but if you put Tucker in the middle, it's like, oh, you could believe that was the son and James Franco was the grandson.
here's the
That
deal.
he bridges the gap.
Who he looks like, this is who I think he looks like. I think he looks like I wish I can't remember this guy's name off the top of my head, but the lead singer from the group Fun, he looks just like him, but with muscles. Like
He's worked
so
out a
much,
little bit.
so much like him.
I work
There was a
out.
there was sort of a like, one of those like, oh, there's a twins plot, that was happening
Hmm.
the first 2 or 3 days because we weren't getting a lot of airtime with him, and they're like, oh, he seems so different from one minute to another, maybe he's a twin. But every season someone gets pegged as being the twin, the secret twin. This year it was Tucker. Who
But the crazy thing is, if there was a twin, they would have already told the
us,
audience. Yeah,
yeah,
so you wouldn't be watching the live feeds for that. They would because okay, so the year there was actually twins, we knew on the first day because Big
right
Brother was
right
so
off the bat.
excited to spring this twist,
Yep,
like they were with the AI, so excited to tell us.
yeah.
And it was kind of a whole thing. They wouldn't keep that. I don't think they would keep it from us. I
I
think
don't
they would
think they
tell
would
us.
either. I yeah.
And I think it's been so many years now. I think people would forget about twins,
Yeah,
especially since so many of the younger players weren't even alive probably when that season aired.
truth.
I don't know.
So,
Getting close
okay,
to that.
speaking of some of the younger players and
Younger
those that are
players. Mhm.
fans of the old school game and
Mm.
such, let's talk a little bit about Quinn.
Yeah.
Uh, Quinn got an amazing power, like such an
Yep.
interesting
Because
power.
he won his upgrade. Yes.
Yes. I mean, that
Mhm.
is like, I love the idea of being able to like AI and blame it on somebody else. And like, that is awesome. What does he do? What does he do?
He
What does he
tells
do?
Angela,
Right.
but the thing is, Angela had not had her meltdown yet. He tells her, but again,
But he
they
told
thought they
Chemo
were going to
too.
be each other's number ones.
Yep. Yeah, that was gonna be, yeah, that they were the final 2, and he told Chemo as well. So, there's 2 people that know this already, and it's like, okay, okay, again, I'm gonna be
You
empathetic.
better go ahead and use it and burn it
Yeah,
because
because that's, like, really exciting to have something like that. It's go, "Ooh, I have to tell somebody." I get that urge, but,
yeah,
like, 1, you told 2 people, you shouldn't have told anybody because this power specifically, it's not even like a hidden idol. This power, like, literally can
like
do what
secret HOH.
basically what Angela did to Matt publicly, this can do the same thing, but you can keep the
No
blood
one
off
will
your
ever know
hands.
who did it. Yeah.
Right. And
Mhm.
so now he's like floating this idea with Chemo that he's gonna like use it, but then he's gonna like make it be himself, but then he's gonna say, "Oh, somebody framed me." And I don't understand.
Why make it complicated?
I
Just
don't
act like you don't know what's going on when stuff happens. Just be like,
I'm just like,
like
"No.
you,
This is
like you're
so
just
why
a
are you doing
spectator.
this? Like this year is so weird already and
Because I think it's because
complicated."
they get they get bored in there so quickly. Oops,
Yeah,
excuse
I
me.
think they just
They
have to
get
it's like
they get
building
bored.
blocks, right?
They start thinking about things and they start trying to figure out how to make
Yeah,
interesting TV. No, don't.
just stop.
Just be stealthy. We love that. We
Do
love
the
that.
game.
We're seeing it.
Yeah,
So that was his power. And MJ also had the power, and her power is to be able to,
something with a veto. I'm gonna be
yeah,
honest.
it's like
I can't remember
she
all the
gets to be
details.
able, they both powers are good for the first 4 weeks. So 1 week down, three more
It's
weeks
to,
they
like,
have.
null a veto or something, right? It basically means the
Shh.
HOH is forced to pick, what, like, 5 people?
Yeah, it gets real messy. It's like you can veto, like if so in this situation, who won the power of veto? Who saves themselves?
Um,
Lisa.
yeah, Lisa did, yeah.
So in this situation, it'd be like, oh, Lisa, when she saves herself, then she could have saved someone else in the veto, and then Angela would have had to put up 2 new people,
Yes,
right?
yes.
That's the scenario that how it would work out. I mean,
Yeah,
she
and
didn't want to use
doesn't that
it.
say something huge, like, about this, like, blossoming showmance? Like, she's got this power, and she's like, "Nah." No.
Well, it's too early. It's too early.
Also, she's
And it's like
I
she has
can't
to distance herself from him now for her
yeah.
game.
And I
But
can't read
he's
her. Like I can't read this is what I have on her. This is like literally my notes. All I have on her is, "Oh my god, she's so beautiful without her makeup on." Like she's just
oh,
truly beautiful
she's really cute. Yeah.
underneath all of the makeup. Like she could literally do whatever she wants without makeup on and she's still a knockout.
Sure. But I mean,
2,
either way, yeah.
2.
Whatever she likes, yeah.
I really like I actually enjoy that her voice does not sound the way I would expect her voice to sound when I look at
It's
her.
like
She's, like,
super, super
a little bit
Texas.
deeper, a little bit raspy. It's just she has a
Mm.
nice voice. Now, what I don't understand is, like, who she is bases off like, based opposed to, like, kind of what vibe she's wanting to say she is. Because she's just had a few she's had conversations, but as far as her personality goes, like, the most that I've actually seen her, like, push out, like, kind of loosen up her personality a little bit was when she was actually complaining about Leah, and she's like, "If Leah wasn't here, then I could be, like, my authentic self, but I can't because Leah's already being that person." And I'm like, "What now? Wait, how how does that work actually? How can you be your authentic person, but you can't be authentic because that person's already here?
No, that person's
Like
already you. Like that's
like
weird.
you
She's
are
not you.
you, hun. Like
You'll still be different. And
you're
let's face
whoever
it,
you are and Leah's whoever she is. It's
right.
okay. You can have 2 like beautiful chatty goofballs. It's super okay.
Sure. Yeah.
It was su
She
it was the
you
weirdest
can like chubby men too. It's
It's
fine.
all right. It's okay. So let's see. Now that this like kind of maybe there was some like, kind of hidden thought in there. Like production's kind of like, look at this handsome gentleman. Why
I
don't you
don't
say
know.
his name over and over again? What do you think of Matt Mackenzie? Do you love Matt? you know, maybe without that happening in her DRs, she can like play the
Well,
game and just
then for her, yeah, for her, you know what? She didn't want him to go, but maybe I thought to myself, stop crying, girl. This is gonna be the best thing for your game
I
right now.
agree. I think it is.
She gets a reset.
Yes.
So she and Lisa and who else voted to keep Matt?
Let's see. The
Because
Kenny
it was
votes
three
were
to eight.
Lisa, Mackenzie, Leah.
Oh,
So,
Leah, Mackenzie, and Lisa.
yep,
Okay.
yep.
Well, isn't that? I mean, it is kind of odd that it was 3 girls, but girls, come
Was
on,
it though?
come on.
Was it that odd?
I just think it's so smart for those guys. I really liked what Joseph said when he voted. You know,
We
we've
had this.
seen the
You had
he's
this
because he's a fan. That shows.
right. You had the 3 of them in an alliance, and then add Lisa into because she was kind of getting in there. So, I mean, it stands to reason they were going to try to protect Matt. That's an alliance member for them.
Hmm.
Um, But, there's like 100 already. Of course there is. It's like 150 different alliances, and there's a whole bunch of different names, and
Well, because depending on who wins this veto, there's like a million ways people could vote.
It's such a mess. It's too much. It's too
That
much.
was so funny when Chemo's doing that. He's like,
Mhm.
okay, 3, but you know,
I
it was so
like
funny.
Chemo.
I do too.
I
Why
don't
did he think people didn't like him?
I
He
think
seemed to be
because
very like,
maybe because he grew up feeling like people didn't like him. I think he kinda got pushed. He did say, like, "I'm gay, we were poor." I kind of, like, was made the target, so, like, I got
yeah.
pushed out a lot. That stuff carries over.
Well,
I mean,
I hope that he was like totally reaffirmed when he came in after winning, and
and
they were
Angela
cheering
started
for him so
screaming.
much. They
Yeah,
were so excited for him that he
yep.
won because who was going to think he was going to beat Kenny and Matt?
Yeah,
But
he's
then you don't know what the thing's going to be.
I think
But
yeah. I
you
think
know,
they really enjoy him. I don't think that he's been a problem for anybody. I think they enjoy talking
no,
to him. Somebody else who's been playing a really low key quiet game is Cam. Cam has
yeah.
not inserted himself into any of the drama. He's having
Listen, but
conversations, he's making friends.
to be fair, I feel like everyone was kind of keeping their distance this week. There was not much room with Angela
True,
and
it's
Matt.
true.
And then those few people they showed talking to them, but people are just kind of like, okay,
I really did enjoy, like, some of the conversations that we were getting, though, like, from Cedric and Chelsea, and they were like, "Oh my god." Like, they're like, "Yeah, no, well, we gotta stay away from that."
yeah.
You're right, you do.
Um,
That's probably a great idea. Just
but I go ahead.
I think well, and look at 'em, they were kinda set in a position where they could have become really easy targets. It's kind of funny how this game works, 'cause
Mhm.
they really were. They were like, they got the lowest, like, thing, right? Like, "Oh, you have to be a
Mhm.
mascot, like, you can get put on the block.
You're not even voting. You're not
You
even
don't
doing
get to
anything.
vote, you don't
You
get to
just get to stand
defend
on the
yourself.
sideline, literally.
You don't get to yeah, you don't get to do anything, like, you're just here,
You're
um,
observing.
and it's like
It's like being courtside at a basketball game.
yes,
Yeah, you
yes,
got the best seats. You're watching the game, but you
yes.
don't get to play.
But look, and neither of them were in a position where, like, any targets or conversations circled around them in any kind of way. It I mean, granted, they had to wear big
But
foam suits, but I mean, they stayed out of harm's way this week. I mean,
yeah,
I think going into
from
this
what we
week,
were,
they're perfectly fine, probably,
yeah,
like,
I think they are too. Because I just think that it was like the focus was somewhere else. No one even
yeah,
everyone should have felt pretty safe this week if you were
yeah,
not on the block.
yeah.
And I think it's going to be extremely hard for Angela not to go on the block this week.
Oh, absolutely. And then you got players like Cam, who's just, kind of stayed back, chilled out. Tucker's had lots of conversations with people. A lot of the times he's just doing the, oh yeah, yeah, for sure, like the agreeing thing, but
Mhm.
he's he's getting his social game going. Takor has been observant.
She
She's
oh, and I have to
observant.
say, she's wearing a crochet top. She wears her stuff.
Yep,
She is crochet 24/7 all the time, and I
yep.
love it. So anyway,
I
yeah.
well, listen, what is something that you've learned? I've learned as an when I was knitting, but also I think a lot of crafters pick up on this. If you are in a busy house and you are sitting there doing your craft, whatever it is, and you're really absorbed in it, the people around you forget you have ears. Right? You can sit there quietly. You learn that if you can sit there quietly enough and just look like you're not there, you kind of actually disappear.
Because you don't look up and you're not looking at them or making eye
Yeah.
contact. You just keep going around your thing no matter what. Yeah, it's like yeah, like you're
So
not even
you're picking up the phone conversations they're having, the conversations they're having with each other, the things that they're whispering that they think you can't hear them say, but you can. And I think
yeah.
anyone who's been able to do that and like I think she can just sit there and pick it up around her. I don't think she feels like she needs to insert herself into any major
Mhm.
conversations. She is just quietly, calmly inserting herself into the correct ones, but She's not playing a loud game, but she's definitely taking in what's around her.
Yeah, she's smart.
Who else?
Rubina forgot her
Yeah.
shirt tonight.
Poor Rubina. I
And
don't know.
here's the thing. This is
I
what
don't
I'm
know
gonna
if
tell
she's
America
her.
right now. If you are wearing something that
Mm,
you constantly have to be pulling up,
yep. It's
just don't
not.
wear it. And
It doesn't fit
I'm
you
not
actually.
saying that. I'm not saying that to you mean. I'm saying life is too short to
For
worry
discomfort.
about your clothes like that.
Yep.
Just wear something that isn't fussy.
Yeah. And it
Goofy at a
doesn't.
fuss. It's not
If
a good
you
look,
have,
but whatever.
it's
It's
what we
just
call your clothes wearing you. If you
yeah,
have to
yeah,
constantly adjust yourself for your clothes are wearing you.
yeah.
Who's got time for that?
We don't got time for that.
Put on a
Yeah.
hoodie. I'm
Yeah,
just
so I
saying.
don't know, and it was almost like it almost looked like she had a Survivor buff that she had tied
Yes,
around. It
that's
looked
it
very
was.
buff like. Like
Yeah.
this ain't Survivor, girl. You got clothes back there.
We don't have idols. We don't have idols here. So, okay, who else do we
Um,
have? Brooklyn. Brooklyn's another one. She's
oh gosh, we didn't get much sass from her, did we?
no. Oh, and Brooklyn also
It
has
wasn't
appeared
time.
on Dr. Phil, FYI.
Hmm.
Hers wasn't quite as juicy. She had like her security system like hijacked or something like that, like an
Mm.
identity theft situation, which would really suck to
That
have
does really suck.
happen.
Yeah.
But I think that's what she was on there was talking about that. So nothing like super
Oh,
crazy.
but not only I was gonna say, not only did Angela was Angela and Dr. Phil, she was on Let's Make a Deal. What was her
Yeah,
costume?
I don't remember.
And she was on Price is Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do we know if she won either of those? Won any winnings?
I don't know. She's won big time. She's won the heart of
But
CBS, and they just keep putting her on.
like, yeah, somebody there has to be like, hey,
I know
we
of
had
it,
her on. Like, right? There's got to be like a database or something of
right? Like we
people
got one of
that have
those.
signed waivers or something to be on air.
We
But
have this.
so this is why we figured out this is why she is the cool mom, right?
Yeah. I mean, like, I kind of feel like maybe she's actually not the cool mom, and like she really thinks she is, but maybe she isn't.
They're like, yes, mom, you are. You are.
Yes,
We
mom, you're the
promise.
coolest.
Yes,
Eh,
stop. We know. Yeah, exactly. No more wire hangers.
no. We got Joseph.
I love
Eh,
him.
I
Still
I
happy with him.
yeah, you just walk around with the stash doing his thing. Okay,
I
I'm
don't care
sorry,
what
but
David says.
after he cast his vote and he stood in that hallway, I'm like, what's happening? What's happening? What's
Nobody
happening?
else came in. Did he not know he was the last one?
I don't
I don't think he knew he was last. He's like, I gotta wait for the person
but
to come in so we can do
he
our
did it.
little cha 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 dance or
He did
whatever.
eventually, like, run out into the living room, with the rest of the group. Oh my god, can we please talk about how chaotic that shit was, please? Julie, get these children in line, okay? When she's like, "Oh, hey, I'm gonna give you guys a clue on how you're supposed to play Big Brother. This is the opportunity you have to, go into another room and like convince somebody." And they're like, "Uh-huh. Okay." Like she's like, "Okay, no, save your speech for the time that we do speech."
Right. Yeah, that's not speech time yet. Did I ask you to give a speech? No.
Like, oh, Julie, just wait.
Um,
Just wait until they're playing a game and she has to say, "Show your answers now."
now. Um, yeah, so I think that this next week will likely be Angela, and then if that does happen, whether it is or not, but if that
You
does happen, I
Okay,
think it's going to be like a hard restart to the game. Matt will be gone, she'll be gone, and then everyone can go. Okay, so
but
it's going to
here's
be better for MJ's game. It's better for Kenny's game. It's going to be
Do
better
you
for all
think
their
that
games.
anybody
So
in this house has the cojones to put her up? I think everyone's gonna be too afraid to. I think she made enough of a scene and show that she's gonna be well, let's keep her here as the bigger target.
what if Quinn uses a secret power? She
Mm.
does know about it, but she's going to look fucking nuts. Excuse me.
She is, but she is.
She's gonna look nuts if she comes after him because if he plays it off, because no one's gonna know it was him. She's gonna go, Quinn, I knew it was you, and he's gonna go. or he
What are you
should. Quinn,
talking
come
about? What are
on,
you
girl.
talking
We
about?
talked about this.
Oh, that's gonna be such a
Um,
juicy nugget for Kima to hang on to also, because he'll know, he'll know.
lots of smiles tonight with their. They were not too sad to send Matt home.
They really weren't. They were like, "Bye."
And it's nothing against Matt. You know,
It's
he'll
been
be
the match,
fine.
though. It's really
He will.
yeah.
He'll be
He
fine.
listen, he already said he's gonna take the summer off. He's not gonna worry about doing anything for a
He's
couple
gonna
months.
watch the live feeds 24/7 to see what
He's just gonna
MJ's
take the
doing.
summer off to see how things go. I wanna know if, like, he's
Their
gonna
story's not over.
do you think they're gonna, like, use his name in vain through the rest of the season, as often happens, where they're like, "Well, Matt, da 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 da," or there's gonna be somebody that's all like Mackenzie could win and be like, "This is for Matt." Now all of a sudden she's like, he can be the martyr for her cause. Like, there's
I
no way this
really,
kid's name isn't coming back in, right?
I really hate it when people go like, "This is for so and so," you know,
I do too.
like,
I've known him for
like
4 days, and now I'm gonna lay my life on the line.
now in your confessional saying like, I would love to get revenge, for so and so against this person, but to say it like the way no, it's too stupid. I don't
What
like
do you
it.
think of, like, not getting to see the goodbye messages, like, at all? Like, we can see them online and
Oh, that's right. We didn't get any today.
no, she said
Is
that
that
we
because
can check tomorrow and see them online.
is that just because they
Like
just
a
have
time crunch.
with that extra competition? It's
That's
just
probably the case, but it is a
so
little
maybe
bit
those will come back as they
frustrating
get closer to like Jury House or
when they
something.
decide that they're done with the twist in 3 weeks. Um,
I think it won't last any longer than
I
that. That's for sure.
don't I'm gonna I don't want it against my best judgment. I don't really wanna have to go in and, like, go through the trouble of watching them, but I think I'm going to because I am curious to see.
To see what they say to Matt.
I feel like this is gonna be a clear indication on how much of Angela is cuckoo bananas and how much of it is she's playing this game as
Oh,
the
to see if
chaos
she
agent.
leaves him one.
Yeah, because if she leaves when she goes, "Hey, you know what? No hard feelings. You're a good guy. Had to do whatever it took to get somebody out the door, and you were an
And we
easy
go
target."
genius,
Yes.
but
Or does
also
she go like,
maybe
"I told
completely
you if you
self-sabotaging.
threatened me." Dee-doo-dee-doo-dee.
Well, I mean, she still wasn't the first one out, so good for her. Um,
I kinda just wanna know what we're dealing with here. Like, I have a good idea of what we're dealing with. I just wanna make sure.
and I wonder if Lisa's message would be something about like how he's gonna miss her putting glitter on his body.
Oh my
Like,
gosh,
if she
the
was walking around with
faces.
that edible glitter, wiping it on people,
It's weird and
not just
creepy, and
food,
she said
on people.
and also she said edible glitter so many times, and I
Yeah,
this makes me uncomfortable.
yeah,
Lisa, stop it. Stop doing
yeah.
it. Like,
I'm not
why are
quite
you
sure.
why are you name dropping edible glitter? Like, it's weird, right?
Does she have her own? Oh, does she have her own line?
I wonder, maybe. I don't know.
It was
I
odd.
don't even care to
It
know.
was like she just discovered it like the week before, and she got Casimir, and she just this has changed her life. She's
Like,
gonna
I'm
tell
not
everyone.
gonna lie, like, at some point in my life, like, probably, like, 7th grade, it probably would have been the coolest thing ever, and I probably would have been a little obsessed with it, but,
Like, I got kind of excited when I first saw that they were using airbrushing to like decorate cakes. I was like, "Oh, that's so
yeah.
smart! That's
Yeah,
so
yeah,
cool."
like, that's so cool.
But I
I don't
wouldn't. I'm
know.
not gonna go around and put it on people or anything. Like that was just like, "Oh, what a cool technique for food preparation or food
Yeah. Hey.
decoration."
Yeah,
Um,
I don't know what Lisa's thing is with it. I do know that when you
how
try to put glitter
did she?
on a bunch of have-nots when they finally get to eat, they are gonna growl at you like a pack of hyenas.
Yeah, really.
They were not
Okay,
happy about that at
did
all.
she bring the edible glitter into the house, or did she
That's what I
ask
mean.
them to
Who
buy
let
it?
her bring these drugs in with her?
Okay, well, that's what I was gonna say. What if there's maybe it's special
Freaking a
glitter?
little methamphetamines on everything. See how
Was
this
it blue?
check out my blue edible glitter. We can stay up all night talking,
All
baby.
night.
No paranoia.
Crystal
It's
blue. Yeah,
super
no.
great and pure. I mean,
Oh, that's what happened. Angela had too much glitter.
that's what
And
it
then
is.
she
What it is.
didn't
Dang that
sleep all night. And the way in that conversation when she kept saying how tired she was and how she's losing her mind.
All code.
Well, yeah. Anyway, okay,
Okay,
very
so
funny.
all right.
Whew.
I guess we're at the point where we have to name who we think is our our winner's pick. Is that what we're doing? Are we picking a winner's pick? God, this group of people is so hard. It's so
Well,
hard.
because all we know
My
is don't
God.
pick Angela. She's probably not long for it.
Holy
So,
moly. If she doesn't get
no.
evacuated from the game, I'm gonna be
Evacuated.
shocked.
um.
Well, I will
Okay.
let
Well,
everybody know that David did, in fact, send us his pick.
yeah, I was just looking that up. So he
Yeah.
has his final 3 picks as Cam, Cedric, and Takor, but with the ultimate winner being Cam.
There you go.
Yeah. Yep.
God,
I
you
don't
know
know.
what? I think mine's gonna run really close.
You know what? I hope Cedric doesn't get together with Kenny because Kenny was willing to just toss him down and
Sure
take
was.
Big Maddie.
Sure
He didn't
was.
care about Cedric.
Mm-mm. Cute little
Cedric.
Cedric. That little adorable
Little
whippersnapper.
Carl. Little Carl Gallagher there.
You get him, kid.
I mean,
See,
for those who don't know. It's like
okay,
Carl Gallagher from Shameless. Yeah.
super.
Looks like
Except
him.
for like, I think he's probably 100% more clean cut than that kid. But like,
Well,
he's not selling crack on a corner. I'm pretty sure.
allegedly, we don't know. We don't know.
Now,
I hope his grandma wouldn't let him do that, but no.
You never know. I think
We
that
don't know.
here's what I think about Cedric. Okay, I'm gonna stand by my assessment that he is this season's America's sweetheart for one, because his DRs are so charismatic and he has such a great voice. Like, just listen to his voice. I'm like, he needs to be like on animations. Like, he needs to do voiceovers for animations. He's got such a crystal clear like voice and he delivers his lines really well.
Nice. Mm-hmm.
And he's just adorable. And
Just
he's
has the best
cute little
smile.
smile. Yeah. There's no who's gonna not like this kid? Probably somebody unlikable. Right? Those are the only people that
or someone who's blinded by crazy eyes. Like Kenny.
Blinded. Yeah, I like the Cedric. I think that my 3, I won't say who my winner's pick is out of the 3 yet. I'll let you go. But I think my 3
You know, I already picked last week. I was ready. I was ready from the interviews.
My 3 are gonna be Cam, Quinn, and Takor.
Oh my God, you guys. Okay, so mine are Takor, Quinn, and Joseph. Those are my 3.
I think Joseph can
So we all 3 of us have Takor. We all like Takor.
Yep.
And then you and David both have Cam.
Yep.
And then you and I both have Quinn. Now I have Quinn as my final, like the ultimate to win it all. Only because I just really want him to. So
right, I know. That's why I'm like,
all.
am I going for who I think could win easier over?
Because if I'm going to tell you right now, if Quinn wasn't there, and he wasn't from Omaha when he wasn't there, I would probably pick Joseph.
Yeah, you'd go for Joseph. I could see that. Yeah.
I think might have a clear head, but I'm going to stick with Quinn because I'm loyal. I'm as loyal as Kenny. I'm loyal.
That's pretty loyal.
That's
I mean,
loyal.
like, you're just randomly adopting children over high sums of money. So
yeah, well, yeah.
Oh, well, okay. So
all about feels.
All right. So then I'm sitting in my final 3, and one of the winners is your pick, and one of the winners is David's pick. Do I just?
Oh, you have to pick Takor.
I guess I have to.
Unless you want to change yours.
I don't know. I don't know how she would. I don't know how she's gonna do in comps. That's the hard thing. Like, oh, how do you do in comps? I don't know.
As long as she's kind of like in the middle, like she doesn't play too heavy or doesn't suck too bad. She kind of is in the middle, and then like she doesn't have to do anything really.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they've already put out the guy who was probably the biggest physical threat so far.
The next one.
Who's the next? Who's the new meat shield for those guys? Is it Tucker?
Yeah. Well, you know what? This is what's what.
Why didn't you pick Tucker? I figured you'd pick Tucker.
I don't think Tucker could win, but he's still one. I mean, he's not like my final threes because I don't know that he's going to win. I don't know that he'll
Okay.
get to the final three. I
Yeah.
kind of love him and would love for him to stay.
Yeah. I like him
Honestly,
too.
if I could pick my favorite players,
I
it
think
would be
he might be my fourth. If I had to pick
yeah.
four,
I
if I
mean,
put
like
him.
I like him, Cedric, Takor,
Oh, I like
Joseph,
Cedric.
Quinn. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
That's my group of
Yeah.
favorites. But
And they were putting together a nice little alliance too of all the people. When I saw them forming alliance, I was like, oh yes, that's all my people in one.
listen,
With Angela.
I'm not above changing my mind 100 times in this game.
Sure.
I've super done it before. But
Sure.
I know David is it's really important for David to win. Like it's super important. I enjoy a bragging right, but I root for people that I like really like, not if they can win or not win. That's who I want to like root for. The people I just
Yeah.
like the most. So I
Yeah,
mean,
I
I don't
always
have a
play with
problem
my
going
heart.
with
I can't.
Victoria, yeah, and I really love Quinn, but you know what? If Quinn won and it was your win, I don't care. I'm gonna be happy because Quinn won.
And I would be happy if Taquar
All
won
right,
because she's awesome.
we've got it then.
See?
All
So
right.
you and I can't lose, but David can. All right, we got it. And there's probably a flaw somewhere. Like if any of the other people win.
And this is why we aren't allowed to play Big Brother. We are only allowed to talk about it. So, okay.
Well, it's David's fault. He left us here alone to talk about it. So,
you know, the mice will play.
oh, I mean, we could be completely wrong. These are just the people we're liking that we're kind of like liking their vibe or how calm they are or how they're just so far just kind of
about
and again from what we've seen
we could see them towards the end game, right?
Yeah,
but honestly,
like
this is
Schemo could be there maybe. I mean,
this is a tough because listen, okay, I've had seasons where I'm like, boom, my winner's pick. Taylor knew it from the second she walked in. Boom, that's my winner's pick. Tiffany, boom, as soon as she started talking and stuff, I loved like the way that she was breaking down the game. Boom, that's my winner's pick. Rachel Riley, winner's pick. Like I just sometimes you just know that's it. That's going to be the winner or at least the final three. This season it is just chaos.
Yeah. It really just depends on because after 1 week we haven't everything is still kind of completely in flux.
Do you kind of feel like the game's changed in the last 5 years? Like obviously there's been changes. But it's like how you go
It's kind of gone the Survivor way of like new alliances forming all the time.
Right. The voting blocks are always switching. It's not a solid voting block anymore. The stereotypical vote out isn't really happening anymore. It's not the same. You know, even though Joseph says that, it's kind of not how it's been played for the most part for a while.
Mm-hmm.
That's
you know, we've been saying for a long time that it's dumb, and someone made a comment or alluded to it. I can't remember who said it on the show, but about how, well, I don't want to vote against the House. It's like, how would they know? Like, you can vote any way you want. Vote the way you want.
I feel like some of the most interesting players are the ones that when the whole house, when it's like a very steep-sided alliance, that there's one hinky vote in the group and they don't ever admit to it.
Right.
You know, just because I feel like I don't think it changes that person's game a ton, but it does open the conversation. So you're not hearing the same conversations over and over again.
True.
And you're seeing who's getting paranoid and who's trying to protect what in that situation.
What we don't see is in the diary room, CBS going, listen, if you throw a vote this way, we'll give you $5,000. Just do it. It'll be good TV.
Right. We will send you.
They pick someone.
We will send in an extra bottle of edible glitter. Okay. What color do you need?
So it was nice to see this first vote out not being unanimous.
Oh yeah, that's one of the big things. Like I was writing, I was like, oh, I was not expecting it to.
So I liked that.
You know, to have the numbers like that. There's a few shout outs. There was a few obnoxious shout outs. There was a few people.
Lisa was kind of shout outy.
Yeah, well, so I think in my notes I have something about like how she gives the Bowie Jane goodbye. Like she's basically
she's still
shouting out an
talking.
entire country of people.
Yes, and she's walking away and she's still saying things even though
Yes.
she stood up and she
Yes. Well, I
and
think that's something we're gonna have to talk about next week with David is because he's not here. He can't do a
not
whole lot of
here.
defending the argument right now. But something I
Mm-mm.
would like on the table is that I would kind of like to put to rest David's idea that the only ism that is still a left is and allowed is ageism. Because every single season we're getting someone over the age of 35, 40 years old that comes in and they just stay in the game and no one gets rid of them.
So that's good. Yeah. And I know people are going to say that 35 isn't old, but in
In a reality
TV,
TV,
it is because people of that age and older usually got a job and they can't take the summer off.
Yeah,
Like
they got
these
a job.
whippersnappers.
They got a job. They've got kids who got to get to band practice,
Yeah. They
drama
don't got time
camp.
for this.
Right.
Except if you're the cool mom. If you're the cool mom,
Then you
you
can
can go
just
on
leave them
all
with
the
the neighbor
shows.
and get out of town.
All the shows. Okay, well, one last thing I guess to talk about is Julie's outfit. I thought it was stylish. I liked the whole like long. I mean, I think the
Like
wide
the
pants. It was
corseted,
it was almost a little too wide at the bottom. It was getting toward like skirt wide. But I did like that, and I did think that like the corset looked very stiff though.
yeah,
And
I feel like the
I'm too
material
old for
of
those
it,
kinds of things.
I
It
think
was
the
like very
outfit,
cutting.
yeah. I think this, I think it was, I thought it was really like, it was like a 9 out of 10, right? Like an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
I think that the little boost, maybe it would have been like a little more relaxed material, maybe. I think it's
Mm.
very starch, like it was very
It had
starch.
like a very like dusty gray, like business suit look material to
Yeah,
it. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And I did like that she went with like because she was very like it was strapless or whatever sleeveless, so she was all bare here, but she had those like long chandelier earrings that were kind of
Yeah.
in like they were like a gunmetal gray, so it kind of went with the outfit.
Yeah.
It was nice.
It was
Did you
really
think
it was really pretty. I just
did you think that she looked immaculate?
no.
Because that was a word that someone used.
But I did enjoy a little bit of a different, you know, like, let's come up with everything we can this year. I want all of the words. I want,
She gets
stunning
all
and
the superlatives.
we're done with stunning. Stunning goes.
That's saying.
You get negative points if you say stunning.
Again,
Beautiful, negative points.
again, maybe this show could put together something. We're going to put it out there right now. If we can get someone who just goes, "Hey, Julie, you look alright."
That's what I'm saying. All I want is like, yeah, that'll do.
We will put together
Yeah, that's fine.
a viewer like thing, and we will give you some money. Just tell like it's all right.
It's fine. Yeah.
Mid. It's a little mid.
Meh. Yeah. Meh.
And I would love to see if she wears anything of the crocheted variety like she did last year, if Takor would have anything to say about it.
What if Takor is the one who made the crocheted outfit and
No,
that's the
I don't believe it.
connection to the show?
She's Julie's
We need
personal
Angela
crocheter.
in on this. She will figure it out. Angela's going to solve this because
We'll get the murder board out. There'll be strings. There'll be a whole thing.
She's going to be on 60 Minutes.
Oh, geez. As long as she's not on like To Catch a Predator or something. Like,
No,
she's going to be on all the shows.
She's going to be she's the life of the party. Or was she? Going to be on.
She had a smile that would light up a room or make you run for cover.
Run for cover. Yeah, that's a lot there. The conversation with Julie at the end that she had with Matt, and Matt's like, like, hey, it really means a lot. Like, you being on here means a lot to my mom. And it was really super Julie awkward.
Because it's like she doesn't know how to connect. Because we're Asian.
Yes. Okay. He's like, oh.
It's like, it was almost like, you guys noticed that. Okay. Yes, Julie, we know you're an Asian woman.
We know,
and that's fine.
Okay. It's great. It's fantastic.
So that this boy just told you,
like, how
that
awesome
his mom
that is.
came to this country and she felt good to see an Asian woman on TV.
I feel like it's
doing smart things.
I feel like it's the proof that's needed to prove to us that she doesn't watch the show. Like, she doesn't watch any of the feeds and that she doesn't know
The
what's happening.
mom,
No, Julie.
Julie. Oh, okay.
Because I feel like if she would have known, I he's talked
Okay.
about it. He's talked about it with Julie and like, oh, even in the like the reel, their package at the beginning, he's
Oh
talking
yeah, yeah,
about it.
yeah. Because his mom's a big fan.
Julie ain't
Okay.
checking in, otherwise she would have
She's just not
immediately
watching.
known.
Okay. The other thing that Julie has had, and that you guys can Google this. This is
Google
not
it.
coming
Use the
from me. It's
Googly.
very widely out there that Julie has had a lot of cosmetic surgery
A lot. She doesn't look as she used to.
and some groups of people have said that it was her way of trying to look less Asian.
'Cause it was hard
And
to
then
make it. Yep.
others say no, she had to compete. She wanted to be, she was originally a
Hey,
TV
whatever.
news
Whatever
person,
her whatever
and
her reason
whatever.
was,
I'm just
there
saying.
was a
So
lot of surgery done.
it was quite a lot. She looks like not the person
No.
that she
Nope.
was, but
Nope, not at all.
but she's a gorgeous woman. It's fine. She was
She
gorgeous
picked
before.
out a beautiful face. It's great.
She did. She
It's great.
constructed it. It was her wish list. But I just yeah. But the whole
That's what I
the
mean. It
Asian
was
woman.
so super awkward. It's all like, "Yeah, did you forget?" Like,
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean, I know,
because you
I
and
know,
because
but
okay.
you should
Anyway,
know.
Julie, we love you. We know you're awkward and weird, so are we.
Not
It's
as
fine.
much as Matt's mom does, though, because you're her hero.
Well, absolutely.
Which cool.
Absolutely.
Everybody needs a hero. Why not the Chenbot?
Well, yeah. Well,
She
Matt will
is
be going home.
she's immaculate after all.
Well, she's like in on it because she's talking about the Chenbot herself now.
That's just because the Chenbots existed for 15 years. It took her 15 years of being upwind to catch
finally
that
got it. Oh, because yeah, she's hip to it now.
She's not playing a part of this game. She's in her own thing. Like, she shows up with her little like trip cord that she holds. That that thing don't work. We haven't used trip cord since 1998. I'm telling you, it's just there as a prop. It's like it's like Bob Barker with his microphone. The man didn't need his microphone for the last 10 years he was on.
Well, what are you supposed to do with your hands then?
I mean, it was part of who he was as a host. Was that
the very long, skinny microphone that looked like any minute you could either conduct music or take an interview. You could do either.
You could do both at the same time.
Yeah, same time.
Really good. Try that, Julie.
The person who's talking really got to get around while you're doing it,
Why
though.
don't you Bob Barker that shit, okay?
Ask Angela.
She can do everything. She can do anything.
Well, she was on Price is Right, so I'm just saying,
Got it.
Anyway, okay. Well, is that all we got?
That's all we got.
I think that's all we got, guys.
I'm sure there's going to be a lot next week. I'm sure.
It's going to be a whole new thing. We'll be like, remember last week when it was so normal? No, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us tonight for Ladies' Night. And we'll see you guys back here next Thursday for the eviction of player number 2.
And
you think
if
it'll be
you
Angela?
have anything to add or you want to check any updates
for
that, you can find us on the Twitter and you can find us under Tally the Votes on
You
Facebook.
can email us at tallythevotes@gmail.com.
And honestly, if you send an email to that and like say, oh, I'm specifically writing this email for Christy and Jamie and not David, that would be super awesome.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome. Oh my God. Finally, you got rid of that guy.
Finally, they start sending
He has been evicted. No, he'll be back next week. And then also, if you're over on the Facebook,
come over.
You can join our group, Tally the Votes. Come there and talk about whatever you want to talk about. Ask for updates. I mean, honestly, we peruse it all the time. So anything, just jump on there. We'll talk
I like
about
to play I like
we'll
to
talk
play
about Julie's clothes. What else?
if you don't feel comfortable going into the newly claimed Twitterverse, under another name that I will not say.
This is the one thing I will dead name, Twitter.
Exactly.
Yeah, no
If
problem.
you don't wanna go into that world and you don't wanna, like, peruse or, peek in, don't worry, I will screen cap all the good stuff. I'll post it on Facebook for you.
Fantastic. Sounds like a plan. All right. You think it's gonna be Angela next week though, right?
I think she'll be on yeah, no, I don't. I think she's gonna stick around a little bit longer. I think people are gonna be scared of her. I think they're gonna be
I
chickens.
think they're gonna want to get rid of her. But we'll
Oh,
see.
I think they're
All
gonna
right.
want to. I just don't know who's brave enough to do it. Could be Kenny.
Just but anyway, I would think just for just some sort of like non-chaotic feeling of anxiety you would have all the time with her in there now.
I
But
I agree. Yeah, it would be probably the best thing for all of their games to remove her. Who's gonna be the one to do it? Maybe
yeah.
Chelsea. Chelsea seems like she'd be like, I don't care. Put her up.
What about Brooklyn? Like, I ain't
Mm,
got time for that. There's only room for one catty girl here, and that's me.
I can
I
do
don't know.
this. It's gonna be me. Yeah, I
It's
don't
gonna
know.
be me.
I don't know. We don't know. That's why we watch this show because we don't know.
That's true, and that's why we pay attention to all the spoilers and all the things.
That's why.
All right, well, then I guess we'll see you next week, and we'll talk for real about who actually went home, Angela or otherwise. All right, guys, you guys have a great week, and peace out.
Bye.
Bye.